Ravens Nation.
What's up, viewers? It's me, it's Mr. Voiceman. I'm here again, brand new camera, trying some stuff out, trying to have some fun. So, that being said, let's get right down to it. We have not had a challenge like this in quite some time for our boys. I know I haven't been able to come to you guys and tell you what's going on. But, just been trying to work out some kinks and trying to figure out what this team's going, just like myself. But that being said, let's get right down to it. We fly out to the mile-high city of Denver, take on the Broncos. It seems so weird because we usually see the Broncos on our home turf, but once you add Peyton Manning in the mix, pretty much anything can happen. And as our record indicates against him, with being a 9-2, him being 9-2 against us all time, it's not exactly the best record in the world, but hey, we can work with it. And that being said, defensively, first off, as you guys saw against the Colts last week, a very aggressive zone scheme seemed to be called. Only problem being that aggressive nature caused some over pursuit and caused us to come out of some zone schemes and lanes, which allowed the running game to work very well for the Colts and actually allowed for some positive gains out of the receiving game. I believe total offense allowed was about 418 yards against a rookie quarterback and an offense that hasn't done that well. We need to tighten up those screws, because if we allow 418 yards with Peyton Manning, that'll end up turning into about 42 points. So the aggressive nature is good, but you have to stay in your lanes and allow the play to unfold a bit before trying to jump something, especially against a guy like Peyton, because then he's going to make you pay for it. Big games defensively wise, of course, all around the field we're going to need that, but guys up front are going to be a big key. Nada's going to call for double teams right up the middle from the center and one of the guards. He's going to need to be able to get some pressure and push that line back into Peyton's face. Peyton can take the beating and he can take the hits, but if you get to him fast and you get to him often, he gets flustered just like a lot of people, and he ends up trying to rush his progress. That will give our D-backs, mainly Ed Reed, because I love to give Kerry as much props as I can, but not my favorite Raven. That gives our guys in the back of that field time to possibly jump some of these routes if it's been a rushed throw. Turnovers are going to be essential in this game. If we can find some way, shape, or form to get some takeaways from the Broncos and turn those into points, this game will be over before we know it. And of course, it'll be in our favor. Also going to need big games from McPhee, Kruger, and Jones in the pass rush. They have got to be able to beat this O-line, but given Peyton is so quick with the football, and given he's been sacked a league low 18 times in the regular season, this is going to be a tall order for our pass rush, which is something we've never really had that much of to begin with, so I digress in that regard. Linebackers are going to have to stay stout. They're going to have to stay inside the gaps that the D-line creates and allow them to get pressure into the backfield easy before anything develops, and we can cut Moreno off right then and there. And then, of course, above anything else, it is making sure Peyton is mobile. He's a very good stationary pocket passer, but if he gets on the run, that's when he ends up starting to make mistakes. Get him running, we get him out of his comfort zone, we jump on those mistakes, and we end up turning that into some points. So that's pretty much defensively what we're looking at. Now offensively, you saw some things in the first half of that Colts game which was really somewhat unusual. They ran against a Colts defense which was 28th against the run, if my numbers are correct, and yet Ray Rice wasn't able to produce much of anything in the running game. Passing game, he's been effective lately. Bernard Pierce, on the other hand, he's been running like a bat out of hell. That being said, this new game coming up, I think a game plan has got to consist more with Bernard Pierce running as your first and second down back, and then saving Ray Rice for passing situations and possibly getting him out on the field at one time. Ray's been always a big threat in the open field, so if you can get him mismatched against the safety or one of the linebackers, even though Denver's got a decent set of them, it should end up becoming a pretty potent offensive weapon to throw around. Pierce needs to get the rock on first and second downs. He's more the bruiser back. Saw the same thing with Ricky Williams last year in the postseason. He was running about 4 to 6 yards a carry. Ray was only, God bless him, only doing about 2 to 4 per carry. But Cam, being the hard-headed, stubborn coordinator that everyone calls him as, he never made the switch to the hot hand. Caldwell's been doing that, and I'm definitely appreciative of him realizing the talent he has. You also notice a lot that Joe's been rolling out of the pocket and been a lot more mobile these past few games. That's something he was very good at during his first season and his second half season. But for some reason, Cam seemed to get away from that. The guy's more athletic than he gives himself credit for. He can run the football if necessary. He needs to get out. He's going to have to be able to make life on the run. Von Miller and Elvis Dumervil are two of the league's best up-and-coming pass rushers. And I say up-and-coming loosely because Von's already been here. Led the league with 18.5 sacks. Definitely made a case to take the defensive player of the year crown away from T-Sizzle. But hey, Sizzle was injured. I really see the O-line has got to be on its best behavior. You're going to definitely see a lot of double tight end sets, especially for running the football, but also in some passing scenarios as well. Michael Orr has been absolutely atrocious for these past few games, and Von Miller being as good as he is, it's going to take that extra tight end back in coverage to be able to slow Miller down even somewhat, so Joe has some time to step up and make his throws. Now, I do see a chance to offset Dumervil on the left side of the line. While he is one of the better, stronger pass rushers, he doesn't have the that hardcore motor like Von does. So given that we have the new line of McKinney and KO on the left side, I really see some good lines going through the B and C gaps in the guard and left tackle side of things and running directly at Dumervil, because given Ray's cutback ability and what essentially also seems to be a good cutback ability by Pierce, running directly at him and putting him into a cutback lane, really think that'll take Dumervil out of the equation, and by the time Miller is able to catch up, we'll probably be about 7 or 8 yards down the field and ready to go for 2nd and 2. Wide receivers, Torrey's been kind of transparent in the receiving corps. A lot of teams are starting to double team him, starting to shadow him with some safety help over the top. But his big thing has been he has been an outstanding blocker downfield. Main things here in receiving game especially, we're going to have to see some 3 receiver sets. Torrey and Jacoby on the outsides are stretching the DBs back and far and keeping the safeties honest and out of the box for a running game. But at the same time as well, Bolden needs to be in the slot to live in the middle of the field. While their linebackers are athletic and fast and they cover pretty decently, you're bound to get some mismatches there, and that's where Bolden and the tight ends need to be available to exploit those weaknesses and hopefully put us over the top. Now everyone makes all the big deal of, oh, it's mile high, oh, the oxygen, oh, this, oh, this, oh, this. Plain and simple, they're athletes, they're paid millions of dollars to be in the best shape of their life and play football. It comes down to who wants it more. This first quarter is going to be the key. If you see us coming out aggressive and you see us, it looks as though we're playing a home game level of intensity, it's going to be a good day for us. But if it comes out with a sluggish start, you see 3 and outs, you see the running game not going that well, you see Joe getting flustered early, we might be in for another long day, folks. It's going to be a quick and easy tell, especially in this first quarter. So that being said, let me go ahead and make my prediction just get down to it. I am a Ravens fan. I am a Kool-Aid drinking, purple slurping fanatic of this team. However, I'm also a football realist. If, and the big ifs are always there, if the D-line has any form of pressure on Peyton, hurried or hits, and the offense can match him stride for stride with no turnovers, the Ravens will win this game with a heavy dose of the run and setting up play action. The secondary on Denver is decent, especially with Mike Adams and Champ Bailey on one side of it, but they can be had. Champ tends to bite on the double move. Torrey's got the hips and the skill set to be able to make him bite. But play action pass is going to be key, and that's set up by a strong dose of Pierce and Rice. That happens. You see the Ravens 24, Broncos 21. However, if we see more of the same like we did in Baltimore, Joe looking left, pointing left. Oh, interception, 99 yards, touchdown. If we see anything like that, it's going to be a very, very long day, and I see the Broncos absolutely depantsing us if we turn the ball over 35-16. So those are also being big ifs, but a key factor you got to watch out for. If it's late in the game and it's tied or it's close enough for field goal to win this, put your money on the Ravens. Matt Prater has been very inconsistent this year from past 40 yards, and he was an absolute moneymaker last year. But 8 of 13 from 40 yards, as I like to call him, Rum-Tum Tucker-Knots, Justin Tucker, he's really become an asset to this team. And with that leg in this mile-high atmosphere, even if we have to go, 55-plus yards with the closing seconds for a field goal, don't count against this kid on this one. There's always the ability to shank a kick from that far, but with this leg and that thin of air, I think Tucker might be able to pull something out that Cundiff was able to do. So that being said, as I mentioned before, running game sets us up and keeps Peyton off the field. Ravens 24, Broncos 21. Offense turns the ball over and we can't keep Peyton off the field. Broncos 35, Ravens 17. Hopefully I get to see you guys next week as we preview the AFC Championship game that hopefully will feature our Ravens. But either way, it's been one hell of a season. It's been a privilege watching these men do battle every week. They're our boys. They made it to the playoffs again. They won another divisional crown. And I could not be happier to be a Baltimore Raven fan. And all the naysayers and the Joe critics and everybody else who, the team needs to do this, team needs to do that, you obviously shouldn't be wearing the purple and black because you've got no love for this team. Win, lose, or draw, get behind them, support them, and cheer them on Saturday. I'm Mr. Voiceman. That's your prescription for victory or defeat. And we, hopefully, will see you next week.